Chapter 3. The Soul, a Beautiful Illusion. For centuries, the word soul has comforted billions. It promises continuity, uniqueness, and a sense of divine importance. It tells us we are more than flesh and bone, that something eternal, pure, and untouched lives within us, that even if our body dies, something, the real us, continues on. But what if the soul is not a truth, but a deeply human invention? What if it was never discovered, only imagined? The birth of the soul. The idea of the soul didn't begin with science. It began with stories, with the pain of losing someone we love, with the fear of our own impermanence. Ancient cultures needed a way to make sense of death, and so they said, "He is not gone, only moved on." And just like that, the soul was born. Egyptians believed in the Ka, the vital essence that journeyed to the afterlife. Greeks imagined the psyche as a breath-like spirit. Hindus spoke of the Atman, Buddhists of a stream of consciousness. Christians said the soul is judged and sent to heaven or hell. Every culture, in its own language, offered the same comfort. You are not just your body. But let's ask honestly, have we ever seen a soul? Touched it? Measured it? Proven it? We haven't. We've only felt the absence of life and filled it with a poetic explanation. A solution to the fear of death. Death is terrifying. It ends everything we know, thought, memory, relationships, identity. But if there's a soul, then death isn't the end. It's just a door. And this belief, even without evidence, offers relief. The soul makes death feel like a transition, not a disappearance. It turns tragedy into transformation. It turns loss into hope. It gives us a narrative in which justice is served and suffering has meaning. That's why people cling to it, not because it's proven, but because it's needed. But truth doesn't care about comfort. And if we're truly seeking peace, not just consolation, we have to ask, is it real or is it just helpful? The soul is identity. Beyond religion, the soul has become a psychological crutch. We say things like follow your soul, listen to your soul's purpose, you're a beautiful soul. But what are we really pointing to? Often, we're talking about emotions, or personality, or a sense of inner clarity. But instead of saying I feel this deeply, we say my soul knows. The soul becomes a mystical stand-in for our preferences, feelings, and inner narratives. It becomes an identity, the true me that's separate from society, pain, and confusion. But here's the paradox. If the soul is untouched by suffering, why do we seek healing? If the soul is always pure, why do we feel so impure? If the soul is our essence, why is it so hard to find? What we call soul may simply be the idea of wholeness we crave, not a reality we've actually known. The Upanishadic view. Interestingly, the Upanishads, some of the earliest Indian philosophical texts, don't treat the soul as a personal possession. The word they use is Atman, but it doesn't mean your unique spirit. Atman, in its deepest sense, is not a thing. It is not individual. It is the background awareness behind all things. And what's even more radical is that the Upanishads insist that even this Atman cannot be described. They say, that from which speech and thought return, having not grasped it. They don't try to define the soul. They try to dissolve the illusion that there is anything to define. The self, they say, is not found by seeking it, but by realizing that the seeker itself is the illusion. What's left without a soul? This is the scary part. If there is no soul, then what are we? The answer is both unsettling and beautiful. We are this. Just this. This breath. This thought. This sensation. This awareness. Not something behind it, but the very experience unfolding in real time. No secret essence. No hidden center. Just the clarity of this moment, happening by itself. The soul, then, was a poetic way to say, something feels very alive in me. And yes, something does. But it doesn't need a name. It doesn't need to be eternal. It just needs to be seen. Now, the beauty of letting go. Letting go of the soul doesn't mean becoming a nihilist. It means dropping the fantasy of continuity and embracing the beauty of transience. Flowers bloom and fall. Rivers flow and dry. Suns rise and set. Why should we be any different? Perhaps the deepest peace comes not from imagining we live forever, but from knowing that we are alive now, and that is enough. So, the soul may be beautiful, but it may also be an illusion. And illusions, no matter how comforting, eventually cloud our vision. And truth, even when silent, waits patiently behind them.